Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new topic, Coulomb's law in vector form. As in previous lecture, we learnt about Coulomb's law in scalar form. The formula of Coulomb's law is force F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 upon R square, where Q1 Q2 are the charges and R is the distance between them, and the value of 1 upon 4 pi E naught is 9 into 10 raised to power 9. Now we will write Coulomb's law in vector form. In vector form, as you know, we have learnt in 11th class, vector means vector quantities are those quantities which have both magnitude and direction. Both magnitude and direction. So here, when we convert this formula into vector form, we will apply a unit vector along with this formula. When we write any formula, scalar formula to vector form, then we write unit vector to that formula. So in vector form, Coulomb's law in vector form, firstly we will suppose there are two charges. Suppose there are two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance from origin O, and distance between them, between two charges, is R. The distance from origin to first charge A is R1 and second charge is R2, and the distance between them R is equal to R1 minus R2. As now we write Coulomb's law in vector form, so we will apply direction here. It is must, because in vector form we apply direction. In scalar form, Coulomb's force is equal to 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. But when we will write this in vector form, then in vector form F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 upon R square, and we will mention a unit vector here. In the vector form, we will write in the form of unit vector, where R cap is a unit vector because R is distance and distance has both magnitude and direction. So we write in the form of R cap. R cap is a unit vector, and the formula which we learnt in 11th class, that the formula of unit vector R cap can be written in the form of R vector divided by magnitude of R. Now if we will find force on charge Q1, force on charge Q1 means force on 1 due to second charge. We can find that force, and also we can find force on second charge due to 1, because there are two charges and both experiencing force. Both charges experience force because both are point charges and positive charges, and same charges or like charges repel each other. So the force will act along line joining two charges but in opposite direction. Now we will find force on 1 due to 2. Similar as in the previous case, in scalar form we will find the force, but in scalar form we didn't write the magnitude and direction, but in this we will write the magnitude and direction also. Now force on 1 is due to 2. It means we are applying force on first charge and the force is due to second charge. Can be written in the form of 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2, and now distance force is 1 due to 2, so distance can be written in the form of R12 and R12 cap. Now we will solve this unit vector. This unit vector can be written R12 cap. The formula of R cap is R vector divided by magnitude of R. And R12 cap can be written in the form of R12 vector divided by R12 magnitude. 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 R12. Also in magnitude form R12 square, distance divide distance is in square term. R12 vector R12, so it becomes 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 R12 vector divided by R12 cube, where R12 is the distance between first position to second position, and R12 is equal to R1 minus R2. The difference between both position vectors is R12. So we can write the formula R1 minus R2 divided by R1 minus R2 magnitude. This is the force on 1 due to 2. Similarly, we can find the second F21 force, means the force on second charge due to first. So this is the vector form of Coulomb's law. 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 R1 vector minus R2 vector divided by R1 minus R2 whole cube. As force F12 is equal to Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught R1 vector minus R2 vector divided by R1 minus R2 cube. Similarly, we can find force F21, means force on second charge due to first charge. Q1 Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R21 cap divided by R21 square. Now we will solve unit vector quantity. The formula of unit vector is R21 cap is equal to R2 vector divided by R21 magnitude. Put this in, this equation becomes F21 Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught R2 vector R21 cube, where R21 is equal to distance between second position vector minus first position vector. R21 is equal to R2 minus R1. So the force F21 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 R2 minus R1 divided by R2 minus R1 cube. This is the force in the vector form F12 and F21. From these two equations, it is clear that both the forces are equal. Difference is that here R1 minus R2 and here R2 minus R1. It means the forces are equal but opposite in nature. F12 is equal to minus F21. This is the Coulomb's law in vector form. Now next topic is comparison between electrostatic force and gravitational force. As we know, electrostatic force is K Q1 Q2 upon R square, where K is 1 upon 4 pi E naught. Electrostatic force 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. And gravitational force is G M1 M2 upon R square. Here 1 upon 4 pi E naught, which is equal to K, is a dielectric constant, and G is a gravitational constant. This is universal gravitational constant whose value is given, and K depends on the medium. Electrostatic force and gravitational force both follows inverse square law, because in both formulas F is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. It means if distance between charges increases, then electrostatic force decreases. In a similar way, if the distance between two masses increases, then gravitational force decreases. Second one, both forces acts along the line joining between two charges. If there are two charges Q1 and Q2, both act along the line joining from the center of their two charges. And similar way, gravitational force act along the masses from the center of masses, acts along the line joining the masses. Number 3, there is a difference between electrostatic and gravitational force. These are the similarities, and now the difference between electrostatic force and gravitational force is electrostatic force is repulsive as well as attractive, because charges charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. But in gravitational force is always attractive in nature because mass has no charge. Next, uh, fourth one is electrostatic force depends on medium, means the value of K, which is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. It depends on medium. But gravitational force, it is a universal gravitational constant. It doesn't depend on medium. Its value is given 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square, where K is 9 into 10 raised to power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. From both these values, it means electrostatic force is much greater than gravitational force. This is the difference between these two forces, and these are the similarities between these two forces. Next, we will do one numerical. Find the ratio of electrostatic force to gravitational force for two electrons placed at some distance apart in air. We have to find the ratio between electrostatic force and gravitational force for two electrons. As we know, electrostatic force, the formula of electrostatic force is K Q1 Q2 divided by R square, and gravitational force G M1 M2 divide R square. We have to find the ratio. Firstly, we will divide these two equations. F electrostatic to F gravitational. Then K Q1 Q2 R square and G M1 M2 divide R square. Now the formula becomes K Q1 Q2 upon G M1 M2. As we know, the K is a dielectric constant whose value is 9 into 10 raised to power 9. Q1, Q2 are two charges, and the charge on each electron or proton is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19. Here are two electrons, so the charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 Coulomb. And G is also a universal gravitational constant. whose value is 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11, and m1 is the mass of electron, 9.1 into 10 raised to power minus 31. And then the ratio becomes electrostatic and gravitational force. When we solve these all numerical value, it approximately it will be equal to 10 raised to power 42. It means electrostatic force is greater than 10 raised to power 42 times gravitational force. It means electrostatic force is much stronger than gravitational force. How much time? 10 raised to power 42 times. Now next numerical is calculate the electrostatic force between alpha particle and proton separated by a distance 5.12 into 10 raised to power minus 15 meter. It means two particles, one is alpha particle and second one is proton, separated by a distance 5.12 into 10 raised to power minus 15 meter. So here we will apply formula electrostatic force, which is equal to 1 upon 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 means charge on alpha particle and charge on proton divided by R square. 1 upon 4 pi E naught is 9 into 10 raised to power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. And charge on alpha particle is, charge on alpha particle means 2 electron. 2 electrons, 2 into 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19. And charge on proton, proton has charge plus E means 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19. Divide R square. R square means distance between these two charges, alpha particle and proton, is 5.12 into 10 raised to power minus 15 meter. When we solve these numerical value, I will get answer of 17.6 Newton. You have to solve this formula and you can find, you have to find the electrostatic force between them. Do yourself. Here you can find the numerical value. Next topic is limitations of Coulomb's law. Limitations of Coulomb's law means Coulomb's law is valid only for point charges. It doesn't tell about extended charges. It means if we have extended charges, means charges on full charge on a body or continuous charge, then we can't apply this formula. Or if both charges are at rest, then Coulomb's law is valid. But if both charges are in motion, then it is not valid. It is only valid if both the charges are at rest, or if one charge in motion or one charge at rest. But if both charges are in motion, then we can't apply this formula. So these are the limitations of Coulomb's law. Up to here we have completed the Coulomb's law in vector form and numericals related to it.